Hi.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Abir. Hi, Ragini. Okay, what have we decided we're going to do today? Do you remember? Had we decided anything?
Yes, ma'am. We decided that like clothes and body stuff. I forgot to send the pictures though.
Oh, okay, never mind. So let us um I'm going to show you how to maybe let's make some the body of a person on whom we can put a shirt with a checker pattern and maybe pants. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the checker pattern and then we will put that onto the body. Okay. So I want us to make this illustration in three parts. We will use the part on the left to make the print and also a little stick figure so that we can practice how to make a person. And then we're going to put it all together on the right and make that person and make the shirt and the pants on that person as well. In fact, we could make a checker pattern pair of pants as well. All right, so we're going to do this together. So first we will make a square on the left side. The square is not too large. It's about this size. It's about 4 fingers both ways. And do you guys have paints or do you have color pencils? We can use both today.
Ma'am, I have both.
Okay, so let's do some parts in paint and some parts in color pencil. So the first thing we will do, Kyra, do you have paints? You do? Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Okay. So, and Abir, do you have paints or are you working with color pencils?
Color pens, sketch
Oh,
pen.
sketch pens. Do you have color pencils?
Yep.
Okay. So you can do the part that we are going to do with color pencils. You do the same thing with color pencils. Don't do the painting bit. Okay. I'll show you how you don't need to do that. So let's make a shirt that is, let me look for some reference image so you know what to make it out of. Okay, so I'm going to show you this, and I suppose we can do this even in directly in color pencil. So look at how these checks are made. You have yellow checks, and then on top of that, you have blue colored checks. They're the same distance apart. So we can do this in two ways. We can also give a base color of a yellow, and on that we can make these orange and blue also. So Abir, you will make these as yellow stripes and blue stripes. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. But before that, we are going to put a coat of paint because I want everyone to see how to work with paint and color pencil together. So let's start off with taking some color in the palette. So if your palette is messy like that, you can just take one corner of your rag and wipe away. I think I'll make green checks on yellow because I have so much green available. So in this corner, I'm going to take some gamboge. Yes, Abir?
I have checked. I don't have colored any color pencil.
You don't have any color pencils?
Yeah.
No problem. I will show you how to make this even in markers or sketch pens. But don't do this part right now. Just wait. Wait for us. So now I'm taking a very, very light watery paint. See how it is flowing like that? And a medium size brush, not a very large brush. Now, this is a very important technique which you have to learn if you're going to work with paint. Hold your book at an angle. I want you to see this. Don't paint with me, just observe this. So you have to just touch the paint brush to the paper and see how that water or watery paint comes to the bottom edge. That is what will give us a nice even color. This is a very important technique in watercolor painting. So I'm just touching the bottom layer and almost like making steps for the paint to run down. And it helps that I'm holding my book at an angle and I keep loading the brush before it goes completely dry. Now, this might take a little bit of practice, but the sooner we start, the better it'll be. You have to make a lot of paint so that you don't run out of paint. This way, you get an even color. Now, if you keep the book flat and if you try painting it like color pencils or crayons, if you keep going back and forth on wet paint, it starts becoming very patchy. Okay, so the rules are hold your book at an angle and keep your brush, just touch your brush onto the paper and make only 2 lines, then load your brush again with new paint and then 2 lines more till everything comes all the way down. And in the end, maybe you don't need to load your brush and just spread it out. Okay, so do this quietly, carefully, slowly. And once you're done, just give me a thumbs up so I know that you are ready for the next. Sorry, what is that, Rohan? You're on mute, I think.
Is this brush size okay?
Yes, there will be a number written on it. Can you see it? It should be on the shaft somewhere.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
it says number 6.
Yes, see, mine is also number 6. That's perfect. Is your square about this size? See, just to give you an idea, it's about this tall and this wide. Yeah, okay, more or less about this size. Number 6 brush should be fine. Abir, if you are getting bored, then you can make maybe a smaller square next to this and color that yellow with your sketch pens. So you will make 2 different swatches. Done? Who all are done? Ragini is done. Kyra, are you done as well? Kyra, is there a way that you can tilt the camera slightly lower so I can see your face, because I can only see your forehead most of the time. Or you can sit taller. Sit on something taller till you become taller. Okay, now the next thing to do is draw a person's body. So let's start with a stick figure. Okay, so a human body is just an oval shape with a spine, shoulders, arms, and legs. And then we have to put clothes on it. You don't even have to bother putting a skin. So I'm going to show you how to do it twice. But I want you to first just observe. Just see it first, so you know where your lines are going. And then I will draw it again with you. Don't be in a rush to draw with me. This is not a race. So first, just see what I'm doing and what all the lines mean. So we have a circle or an oval shape. Yeah, Abir, are you watching? Abir? Yeah, keep your pen down now and watch this, because then otherwise you won't understand. Then our head is about, if you take the head and count down 8 times, that's how tall our body is. Our head is 1/8 the size of our body, more or less. So you should know how tall the body can be. But it's just for you to know, you can always play around with that. Now I'm going to make the spine. Then I'm going to make the shoulders. Usually the shoulders and hips can be about the same size. And then from here, I will draw the legs coming straight down, and I'll show the arms coming down. Okay, so I want you to draw this shape on your page. Don't make it too large and don't let the feet go below the paper. So now you know where you should place the circle so that your body does not become too long or too short or too fat. This is the shape we want. Now, once you're done with this, if you have a different color pencil, use that so that you can see where all the lines are supposed to go. So again, I want you to first see this. Now, from the head, you can't join the neck directly to the shoulders. So you have a shape like this. You have a short vertical line and you have shoulders. Okay, you can draw this.
Should we also use red color pencil?
Yeah, use a red color pencil or even a green color pencil is fine, so long as the color looks different from the regular pencil. Now, the shoulders are the only part often when we are wearing clothes can be seen, usually, unless you have very big collars or ruffles or something. So we are going to hang the clothes on the shoulders. So let's see if we can make a shirt out of it. So let's make a V shape on the neck. This V goes up a little bit beyond the neck. And from here, we will draw another. So it's almost like an M shape. This will be the collars. And that comes from behind the head. This is quite a very dramatic collar. But this is going to be a dramatic shirt. And then we can have the shirt come down like this. So it leaves the shoulders and comes away from the body because we have flesh on the arms. And we are going to give this person folded sleeves. So we'll draw two rectangles here. Now, usually we don't wear pants at our hips. The pants are worn slightly above the hip. So we are going to make a rectangle here for the waistband of the pants. And this can change. Sometimes women will wear their pants high up. Sometimes they will wear low, but it's about the size of the hips that we can make. This is only a picture anyway. And now from just outside of the waistband, we are going to take the shirt line, come up, and it might just touch your sleeves. Now remember, this is a rough illustration, so don't erase. You want to know how to proportion these things. Maybe I should have shown you how to draw this first, the main part of the shirt first and then the sleeves. We can change the order. This is not the order that we need to make it in, but these are the lines we make them. And here now we are going to add a small line going to the side. This will be the crease in the fabric. So when you have your hands down, just at the armhole, you will have these lines. So then that starts looking more real and not like a flat body image. And now we can draw pants. So just bring this line straight down from both sides like this, and you can have the legs go in different places. I've made it really short because I'm going to take the line from the side maybe and end this in a rounded shape, the pants, not flat. Now you can make a C shape like this for it to look like shoes for now. We will draw shoes at another point, but for now we can't have him footless, right? So we will make these, not C, U shape underneath the pants. And for the hands, just inside the sleeves, you will draw two lines that come like this towards the wrist. And if you want, you can make them like fists. So this is how you make the fist. You make this shape. And then, you can turn this inside like this and get this over. And then this looks like a fist. We'll do it again. So bring the hand outward a little bit. Make a rectangle, go a little outside. This is the thumb. And this is the other fingers. So our chap is standing with his fists made. And now for the head, just draw two ears on the side and an inverted U shape for the hairline. And above the ears, just draw another inverted U shape. So we've got a man. Okay, were you able to draw this? Easy enough? All right. Now, if we can draw the man properly, then we will also draw a lady afterwards. And maybe we can give her a dress in this yellow checks. Now, just turn your book around and see if the wash has dried up completely. Has it dried? Okay. Now we are going to make the checker pattern. So first thing I want you to do is outside of the square, mark 2 dots, which would be at which would indicate the half of these horizontal sides and half of the vertical side. So you know how to do this? Just put your finger, look from the top and see where, if you mark the line, it would make a half point. And it's just, this is not supposed to be super accurate. So even if it's not 100% right in the center, it does not matter. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take the same brush, my number 6 brush, and I have mixed together the same gamboge along with a little bit of orange, just a little bit, so that the gamboge becomes like a deep yellow color. And watch me do this. Just watch. I'm going to first draw a line, holding my brush like this, holding my brush at right angles to the line I'm drawing, not like this. I'm drawing it like this. And I'm going to press the brush down and just drag the brush to the right, and I will get one line which is almost perfectly parallel. Okay, then wait, before you finish this, I'm going to draw another line at the halfway point above it and at halfway point below it with the same color, and leave it to dry. Now you can make the same.
Ma'am, what color? Can you repeat?
This color is gamboge. That's the yellow, warm yellow color mixed with a little bit of orange. So then it becomes brighter and it'll stand out. Abir, are you following this?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
But what if you want to draw like a person?
Hmm. Sorry, what was that? Person sideways. Was that your question? Wait, I can't hear you. You've gone mute again.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So how would you draw someone like slanting, like kind of like slanting on a wall?
Leaning, you mean?
Yeah, leaning, slanting.
Okay. So for a leaning person, it's just a study of the stick figure itself you can do. So if you want to show a person leaning on the wall, a wall, you can first start with the wall. And you have to imagine how that person is standing and what part of the body of that person is leaning against the wall. So say, for example, it's their shoulder. The best thing is to first, you should go and stand in front of the mirror and see how you look when you are leaning against something. So usually when people lean, their shoulders are leaning, right? So they would probably lean like this. And then either the body could be straight and sideways or the entire body is sideways. But the shoulders are not straight then everything is tilted. So you will have one shoulder up, but you will have one leg to balance here. Sorry, I have to draw the hips. One leg to balance down, and the other leg can then do whatever it wants. It can be here or it can be here, whatever. So at some point we'll do this. We'll look for different types of forms and see how the body can lean, can jump, can sit, all sorts of things. Okay, are you all done with these three lines?
So what about leaning on the back? Like,
Leaning on the back, like if imagining that is you're facing the person and they are leaning against the back. I mean, their back is leaning against a wall. So many a time it won't look any different from this. So we have to, when we're drawing pictures, we have to draw something around it to give it a context. So for example, if you show 2-3 people and if you show this person a little imbalanced and standing with their leg, like for example, if I were to show a person like this, like with their leg on the other leg or just one leg leaning like this, you might think that they are casually standing against a wall. And of course, I'll draw a wall underneath. So, not underneath, will next to them. And yeah, the shoulder will be up. So suppose this is their stance. You know that they're not just standing like this, right? Nobody can stand like that casually with their hands against in their pockets. So then if I draw a wall and if I draw 2-3 people, then you know that they're just standing against a wall. So all this you can look at pictures first and try to figure that out. And we'll do that. Are you all done with this?
Yes.
All right. Now we will turn the book sideways and draw the same 3 lines exactly like that in a vertical direction. So remember, we have to make 2 colored checks. We are making yellow and we are making blue or green. So this is the first checks. And importantly, we need to see them crossing over here. That is what's going to make it look amazing. Now, once you're done with this, take the next color. What do you want it to be? Blue or green, any deeper color will be fine now. Even if you, now since we have made this yellow background, the blue is going to look green. So I'm not going to waste a blue on that. I'm just going to take a green. Because I have a lot of green here. Maybe I can add a little bit of blue to it to make it a blue-green color. So the choice of color is completely yours. You can choose whichever one you want. But here's the tricky part now. We have to make these lines in between the yellow lines. And you have to make it after the yellow lines have dried completely. So, and you can make them thick or thin. I'm going to make them the same size. So do this very carefully and do it just once, slowly and once, so that you do not dislodge the earlier color. And then we wait for this to dry. And then we do the next stripes. So this checker pattern looks pretty because these colors go one on top of the other and they change. Wherever these colors cross over, they change and look different. And that's what makes it look beautiful. And you can have any number of colors. So if you want, you can make this even in color pencil, and you can add thinner lines in color pencil. Now I'm making this sideways. See, it's looking like a real handkerchief or something made in checks, isn't it? Now, if we want this on the shirt, here's how we can do it. Can I show you? Are you all done? Or you need a minute? Let's see, Kyra, you'll have to undo the background, I think. Very good. What colors are you using, Kyra? Can I see the colors that you're using? And do you have a palette? Oh, you should use, okay, so you should take the color from the cakes and put it on the palette so that you know how thick or thin or what shade your color is. Okay, so the next colors that you do, always make a little bit on inside the palette. Either this one or like I have this one, take a little bit in this and mix it around a little bit so all the color and the water and everything mixes properly. And then it's easier to paint. So you get a nice even color. What you've done is nice, but it's just that it's if you take it directly from the cake, then you don't know how much paint you have, how much water you have, right? All right. Okay. Now, moving on. See how we can do this over here. I want you to just make this in pencil. The first thing we do is the clothes will have some stitching. So we have these sleeves stitched to the body, to the shirt, not to the body, thank God. And then we make the same pattern over here. So if you've got a yellow pencil, or in this case, let me take an orange pencil, you actually draw these stripes the same distance apart, like equal distance lines apart. And a little bit of the lines can wobble. Don't make them straight like with a scale or ruler. Just make them look like they're the same distance apart. And literally make checks exactly like this. Just lift your hand up when you come to the center line, because usually they will put buttons over there. And the same thing we do also on the sleeves, but we do it a little at an angle. So the sleeves will look different from the body. Now, if you can do this, just make the sleeves, the horizontal lines on the sleeves a little rounded. See? It's already looking like it's a good checkered pattern. Now remember the bottom part over here, this is the pants. So we are not going to do anything over here. And if we want to make it even more dense, like the green lines, this is the same pattern. I'm just making a sample over here. So you see that it's so easy to recreate. So anytime you have to make patterns on clothes, first make the pattern, understand how it works, and then it becomes very easy to make it on the clothing itself. Okay, shall we make this on a proper big human now? We've done our testing. Everyone is clear on what we have to do? Okay. So the big shape of the human is going to be just slightly bigger. And this time you draw the lines very lightly. You know what you have to do, right? So draw a light oval. Then we will draw the spine, shoulders, hips, and legs. And we can start making the clothes. So you can make the V shape first for the collar. Draw the neck inside the V shape like this. And then round off that V shape from the outside. Now we will put the shirt on the shoulders like this. And this time round, let's make a shape for the collar like this. It's a little smarter. Right over left. And for men, you take this left side on top and you bring it down to where we will make the waistband. Is everyone with me? If you think I'm going fast, please tell me, then I can slow down a bit. Now, because we're making it slightly bigger, you could also make the shirt puff out a little bit, which often happens to shirts when they are tucked in. And then make the sleeves come down. Now, in this size, I can't make the sleeve fold all the way till the shirt. So a little bit of my sleeves are going to be seen from behind this shirt part as well. I think I might have made my outside line for the arms a little too wide. That's why now I can see the shirt inside this part. Now we can draw pants. And this time, if you want, we can make something funny over here. So draw a line coming down the center and maybe we can make shorts. So even for shorts, oops, that's become too wide, make the bottom rounded. And then you can also give a cuff. So it's like it's folded, like a folded over here, folded over here. And we can draw really funny legs like these, like really thin legs if you want. And put them in some funny shoes, just to finish off the picture. Now, even the arms, you can bring them, make them slightly thinner, so the whole picture can look like a caricature. And since this person has got fists, maybe we can also give him some bags to carry, like shopping bags or something. And we can finish this off by, we can make a slightly V-like shape here. Draw the ears, draw the forehead, and we could draw, oh, sorry, zigzag-like hair on one side and the other side. Now, you know how to draw the checker pattern, right? So I want you to try to paint a different color checker pattern on top and a different color checker pattern on the bottom and different color checker patterns for the bags. Shall we do that? Then this will look like a really, really checkered character. So I'm using my eraser now after finishing the drawing to remove the pencil lines that I used for the stick figure, which especially the ones which are inside my character's body. So that when I paint the colors, they don't look, those lines don't stand out very odd. Okay, let's begin. I'm making my chap's shirt exactly like this, yellow and green. So I'm taking, again, the same green. It's become a little dirty, I think. And I'm painting the entire shirt exactly like we did the wash. And if you want, you can give this wash to the shirt and the pants. And instead of yellow and green colored checks, we can also make maybe on the base of yellow, we can make red and blue colored, or we can also just make stripes. So whatever you do, keep the base color light and you must wait to paint the next color. Otherwise, everything just messes up. So while the shirt is drying, I'm going to put a blue color on one of the bags. Just a light blue color, and I'm going to make checks on that also. So in order to make these checks look realistic, you have to follow the what's called the contour. Do you know what a contour line would be? Have you studied this in geography? What a contour line is? So if I were to, now if I have a shape And if I were to draw a line around that shape like this, so it is not the shape actually, it is around it. This is called a contour.
So like a shadow?
Well, no, a shadow can often be a contour, right? But the line is called a contour. And the reason for that is when you have in a map, when you have something like a mountain, you want to show where the how the shape of the mountain is, but a map is always flat. So what these surveyors do is they will jot the points down for of the same height so that you know that everything along this path is the same height from sea level. And then after this, they will have a different line, which will be the next level. So they are all contouring. But sometimes the contoured line in a map may not follow the same shape. So it may not always be parallel. You know what I mean? So these are the contour lines on maps. Now, the reason I'm explaining this to you is because on our bags, when we have to draw checks, we can use a pencil for this, and we can make the lines follow the contour. So if this line is straight, but every other line comes downward because it follows the contour of the bag. And if I have something in the bag, then that will poke out a little bit. So then I will draw another contour line around it. So it helps to know what contour lines are. And that is what will make our pictures look three-dimensional. See? If we don't draw contour lines, if we just make them straight, then they don't look very three-dimensional, do they? All right, now I'm going to I'm going to give him brown checkered pants. So I'm using a raw umber color for the base. So this is like a deep yellow color. See, Kyra, this is how I use the palette. I take the paint from my cakes into the palette and very carefully roll it about. And I have to be careful with the brush. I don't press it down. I just roll the brush around like that so that it remains smooth. And then I just dip into the color and create my wash. Remember, your washes are one of the most important part in watercolor. So the more you practice your washes, the better masters you will be. There are grown adults who have a problem with making these washes for various reasons. But if you start early and if you're patient, you'll be able to do this in no time. Now to make the checks on the shirt, you should switch to a thinner brush. I'm switching to a number 4 or 2 is also good. Because while this is a big fabric swatch, this is going to be a smaller size. And you don't need to mark the center over here. So in this case now, hold the book in a comfortable position, first vertically. And I'm going to start from the side where I'm going to follow the contour line. And this part, if you're not comfortable making this in brush, please make it in color pencils. That's perfectly okay. Oh, this is too close. And it goes all the way up to the shoulder and comes down straight. See how my contour changes, and then this makes it look like there is a body inside these clothes. I'm going to cover one of these lines with the green, so I'm giving a lot of room to my shirt. I could leave the shirt exactly like this also. I don't have to make a checker pattern if I choose not to. See, it looks so much more believable when you have these lines come into his pants slightly curled. Now for the shorts, I'm going to use a deep brown color along with this. What is it? Raw umber. And I'm going to do the same thing. But here again, the part that is folded below and the waistband, I'm not going to paint. And I'm following the silhouette. So if the line looks like the pant leg looks like it is going to the side, then I'm going to draw this line slightly slanted. And all I need to do is keep the lines equidistant so that that print looks really good on it. Now, when people, I used to work in the garment industry. So when we stitched these shirts, you know, we actually sat and matched the checkers of one side of the shirt to the other side of the shirt to make sure that there's no mismatch. It's a lot of work. And done right, all these pants look very nice. All clothes look very nice because somebody has sat down and done this matching for us. Okay, this is the distance. Now I'm slightly curving these lines downward so that they look like there is a person inside it and they're not just flat. I like how these pants are looking. I thought he's going to look very silly because he's wearing all prints together. I think I will also extend the line up. So the waistband looks different always because we have to make it look like it is a waistband. So the pattern might break a little bit. Likewise, even the fold. And the pattern can shift just a little bit. So if you want to, you can make it that accurate. Otherwise, don't need to. See, even then it looks nice. I quite like how he's looking. Yes, Abir?
Can you see mine?
Yes, let's see. Oh, very good. This is very nice. Now you will paint the waistband also, right? Very good. I like your color patterns. Can you send me a picture of these, Abir? I'd like to see them a little closer. Send me later. All right. Now just the horizontal strokes. Okay, I'm going to turn this around. No, I'm going to be very careful, I think. So here again now, you can make this bend downward a little bit, these lines. And then as you come taller, higher up, you can make them slightly straighter. And all these, the reason for all this is because we usually have some muscle or some body part underneath these clothes. So it should look like the clothes are fitting something that is three-dimensional. Now, usually, even on the sleeves, these things will match. Where the horizontal lines will end, there the horizontal lines of the sleeves will be stitched. That's how we match them in the garment industry. Now on this, we can use a color pencil and make thin green lines in between. With this way, you can make your design look even more interesting. This is called mixed media because it looks very different from color. But this is again a choice. If you want, you can use color pencils. You should always try to do different things with different mediums. And let all the lines follow the contour. Remember that. Now, once this is done, there are a few things that I do, which give it even more three dimension. We can do this in paint or we can also do this in color pencil. So I put a little bit of shadow in these places, like at the bottom of sleeves, just a little bit. So just a slight blue line over there. Then I will put a little shadow just above the waistline because that's where your shirt is tucked in, and I'll make a few folds like this. And a little bit under the collar. So just the line of the collar is, edge of the collar is darkened, and that makes it look more three-dimensional. Similarly, if you find any place where there are stitches, like the waistband, like here, you can make just a few lines for it to look more three-dimensional. And then finally, when we have the person drawn, you can also draw a shadow on the person's body like this, like a slightly rounded end, so that it shows the shadow of the clothes fall on that person's hand. That's how it'll look more realistic. Same thing with the legs. So even if you draw funny stick figures, if you draw these things, they start looking more real. And one at the neck that goes sideways. I think this should be fine. Cool. How is it looking? Do you like it?
Yeah, ma'am, yours looks really nice. I kind of messed up with mine. I tried making a black and white design, but it
Oh,
became like gray.
never mind. Now you know how to do this. So now you can, I'll be sharing a picture of this and the video. So during the week, you can try and remake this.
Yeah.
But everyone has understood everything?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Ma'am, I'll probably try and remake something like this because the reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to make something like that.
You will be able to make it. So it's just, the thing is that because I know how certain colors work, so I choose certain colors. But you were experimenting. That's not bad at all. So now you know what colors to use. Then there are times that even when I have done this in the past, I have painted before everything has dried, and then everything is just running. So instead of checks, I get these floral patterns. So don't worry about that. But you've understood the process, right?
Mm.
Good. All right. So now during the week, try to make different kinds of clothes or just anything. Just take any shape and try to put this checker pattern on top of that, like a tablecloth maybe, or a curtain or something. Anything that is folding, and you should be able to do this. Okay? Okay, so any thoughts on what to do next time till we watch Ragini's? Let's see. Oh, very nice. Good job. Well done, Ragini. Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's see Kaira's. Let's see, Kaira. Hold it up. Hold it in front of your face. Is the paint still wet? I think you can make it one more time when the paint dries up a little bit. It's going in the right direction. I think the paint is wet. But you are probably new to color watercolors, right? So it'll take a little while to understand how much paint you need in the brush, which brush to use, when to wash, when to wipe. But it's good. This is a good attempt. Okay, so next week I want to show you how to paint carpets. Have you painted carpets? Okay, so how about let's try painting a flying carpet? Does that sound interesting? Because that is fairy tale enough. Okay, so I'm putting it down. Flying carpet next week. And till then, if you make any more of these checker patterns, please send them to me. Okay. Okay. Bye, everyone. Good night.
Ma'am, good night.
Good night.
Good night.